Hey friends, happy Thursday morning. It is going to be a beautiful, beautiful day. Just wanted to share something that was on my heart this morning, something that I hope blesses you as much as it did me. In my Bible study this morning, I was in Isaiah 43 and also in Psalm 61. Highly encourage you to read them both. They just complement each other so well. It's just such a, I walked away from Bible study just thanking the Lord just for, just another revelation of his goodness and his kindness and just the way that he takes care of us. Starting in verse 43, the Bible, God talks about how he is creator and he is redeemer, but he is also our deliverer, and I just love that. But so in Psalm 43 and in Isaiah 43 and verse 2, God says, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. When you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned." Is this beautiful or what? But it's such a reminder that it's not a matter of if we go through trials, it's a matter of when we go through trials. Jesus was very clear, and he said, "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." And he has told us more than once that he will walk with us and he will never leave us, he will never forsake us. He says in Matthew 28:20, "And lo, I will be with you always, even to the end of the age." Is that absolutely beautiful? But I think sometimes we forget that. But now listen to this. Like I said, it's not a matter of if, but when. He says, when you pass through the water, when you get through it is what he's saying. And this was no panic mode. There was no reason for panic. When you walk through the fire, they're not running through the fire screaming and panicking. This is a patient endurance. This is a patient waiting, knowing that God is going to come through, because God, who is the same yesterday, today, and forever, has shown himself faithful. And he says, when you pass through, I will be with you. And this water, it's like it turned from, first you look, and then like here we have these peaceful waters, and then all of a sudden it's a flood, and then you can tend to panic when the heat is turned up per se. But here we have David in Psalm 61, who has the secret to all of it. In verse 2, he says, "When I am overwhelmed," not if. David said, "When I am overwhelmed, I will cling to the rock that is higher than I." And David could look around at the rocks around him because he was in the desert. There were lots of big rocks, lots of big mountains. But David said, "I have to cling to the one that is higher than I, the rock, capital R, that is higher than I. No man-made mountains are going to get me high enough to release me from my troubles. Nothing but the Lord himself is going to be enough." And think about this, when David said, "I will cling." This clinging sometimes, it's like you feel so overwhelmed. The meaning of overwhelmed, in fact, is to feel like you're buried or drowning by circumstances or by a heavy weight. And this is what David was talking about. And I don't know about you, but I've been through these times. I've been through these times where I'm like, "Lord, if you don't come through, I don't think I can make it." I've been bogged down by trials and troubles. I felt like I was drowning. I've been there. And so I can empathize so much with David, but I can also confirm with him, have the same confidence that the only one that will get us out of anything is the rock that is higher than I. There's nowhere we can go that'll get us out of our troubles. There's no rock high enough that we can climb that will lead to an escape. The only thing we can do when we go through trials, when we go through the waters, when we go through the rivers, when we walk through the fire, when we are overwhelmed, the only place we can go is the rock that is higher than I. And I tell you what, and we can cling to it with all that we have, knowing that we will get through the other side. We will get through the other side. In Isaiah, he said, when you walk through the fire, it wasn't a panic. It was saying, "I will get you through the other side." Psalm 23 is pretty clear about that. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. God is always with us. So I don't know what you're going through today. Those horseflies are back. If you're overwhelmed, if your soul is overwhelmed, follow the example of David and cling to the rock that is higher than I. Cling to the rock that is Jesus Christ. So guys, I really, really hope that blesses you. I'm going to finish up my run and get off to the best job ever. It is going to be a great day.